Steve, you're handling the slides today?
I didn't see him ask me. I can bring him up. I hadn't intended on that, but let me.
No, he's not going to be his.
Oh, he didn't tell me that. Unless I missed it. I just saw the final. I got to find him. No, now I see it. He sent it to me. Okay. I'll get it up here. Second. Come on. Downloads. Come on. It's giving me a problem here. Hold on, there we go. Full screen. Okay. All right, give me a second. Now I got it up. I will share. There we go. Can everybody see it?
There we go.
Yep.
Okay, thanks, Steve. All right, we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all.
Okay, guys, thank you for coming to our last formal meeting of the year, or the spring portion of the year, and numbers keep going down. So on the COVID, and we're into a couple of weeks now of relaxed regulations, and the numbers are still coming down. So that's a good sign, and let's give thanks for that as we go into the summer. Okay. Have some bad news. Our longtime member of passed away, Frank Noel. Frank, 95 years old, and he was born in St. Louis, Missouri. He was went to college, was interrupted by World War II, where he served as an officer aboard the ship on the Navy during the Navy. Following his naval service, Frank went to Notre Dame University, where he participated in the Glee Club and graduated in 1949 with a degree in metallurgic engineering. He worked for General Electric and later was an executive at Stamford Chemical in Westport. Frank was a SMAS member for 25 years, and I guess his participating in the Glee Club also led to his participating in the SMAS Songsters. Let's have a moment of silence in memory of Frank Noel. Anybody who knew Frank would like to say anything in remembrance, please come in.
Joe, Dave Kaplan here.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, yesterday evening I spoke to Marie, Frank's wife, and also his daughter Pat, and a very nice long conversation. Marie reminisced about Frank's participation in SMAS, and particularly in the Songsters, and how much he enjoyed the camaraderie. She asked that I pass on how much SMAS meant to Frank, and that she appreciates us reaching out to her. We also sent a condolence card to Marie and Frank's family that they should be getting in a day or two.
Thank you, Dave. Anyone else? Okay. All right, just remember we have a couple of activities coming up, and we're continuing certain activities throughout the summer. You'll see later that our policy remains unchanged. We still require that anybody coming to any of our group functions be fully vaccinated or have been tested with a negative result 48 hours prior to the event. All other guidelines that come out between the CDC and requirements and regulations from the state will be in effect. There's no change there. Our weekly summer get-together, as I said, this is our last meeting of the formal meeting of the season. And starting on July 8th, continuing through August 26th, we're going to have our informal meetings. There's no structure, discussions. If someone has some interesting video that they want to pull up and show the group, anything like that, meetings are going to be from 10 to 11. And I don't think, Steve, you're not sending out invitations weekly or reminders, are you?
I hadn't planned on doing it, but you can get to it from our, you'll be able to get to it from our website. There'll be a link up there on the homepage.
So anyone that wants to attend can go to the website and, or this link here that you have on this slide, that will get you right into the Zoom meeting?
That should get you right into the Zoom meeting. I did a brief test on it and it's told me it was waiting for the meeting to start, so.
Yeah. Okay, so if you want to copy this down, I'll give you a couple of minutes to get a pencil and paper. It's https://tinyurl.com/SMAS 2021 summer, SUMMER.
I have a question.
Who's that?
Stu, I have a question. Steve, is there somebody that has to be a host and admit
No.
people in?
Nope. You should just go right into the meeting. Doesn't require a host.
Okay.
At least the test worked that way.
All right, so yeah, some of us may or may not be on, but it's going to be on Thursday at 10 a.m. Until 11. I guess what happened at 11 it shuts down, Steve?
Frankly, I don't know. I think it'll continue until everybody goes off, but.
All right. So that'll end in August 26th. Then we'll have a week, Labor Day weekend, we won't meet. And then on September 9th, we'll resume our formal Zoom meetings. And hopefully, as it says, if all goes well, we're going to resume live in-person meetings at the Fish Church in October. And we will get that information out as soon as we know definitely ourselves. So that's the plans right now.
Joe, can I ask a question on this?
Yes, Lloyd.
We'll be using the same Zoom address starting in September.
Starting in September, we'll be getting formal invitations, reminders every week.
And that'll be a new Zoom address because I have to reschedule that.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, you'll get the normal meeting notice, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Notice I feel a lot relaxed. I got 2 months not to worry about the meetings. Okay, next slide, please, Steve. Today's speakers, it's going to be a panel discussion moderated by Amy Spetler with Doctors Bernstein and Bright and Weinstein from Stamford Health regarding lung cancer screening. And for our presentations in the fall, Stu, do you want to?
Yeah, I wanted to wet everybody's whistle, get everybody interested in what's coming up in the fall. As you can see, we have some really interesting presentations coming up. This guy Tim Campbell wrote a book about Madoff, which should be really very interesting to hear about what was going on there. Second one, Amos Giori has made a presentation. I've seen that presentation. It's very interesting. Complicity and the bystander, which pretty much is what we've all come across, whether it be a car accident or any kind of situations that come up and people do nothing. They just stand around and do nothing. So it's a very interesting talk. Susan Herbst is going to talk to us. She's at UConn, and she'll talk to us about what's going on currently in the September-October timeframe. Michael Koros, who's in the news today, front page of the Advocate concerning the change in venue for the summer programs. He'll be our speaker in September-October timeframe, talking to us about what's going on currently with that the Downtown Special Services District. And next to last, actually, identity theft. He'll be going. Brian Thompson will be an expert in this area, going into details on what it is in detail, how to prevent it, and everything, all the consequences that can happen if you are not careful with what you do on a computer. Really important for us especially. And last, Dr. Jose Neal, our beloved member, will give us a concert and an explanation of the music we'll be playing. Those of you might remember a couple of years back, he did this with us. So that should be a great program. And that'll be on the meeting prior to Christmas. That's when Jose will be joining us. So got a good lineup of presentations. There are more than there are on the screen here. Again, if you have any ideas, you want to cross something in this time that you think would be interesting for the guys to hear, let me know. And have a great summer, guys.
Excuse me, the slide, my slide is still stuck on the pledge. Are the slides moving?
Yes, they are. You're not moving, Larry.
Okay. I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Right, go make a movement.
There's an extra charge.
All right, Ira, thank you, Stu. Ira, you're next.
Okay, good morning. Our president pointed out an error that I laid on last week's minutes. The name for recruitment director was not changed. Lou Terry is recruitment director and will show in the minutes because Howie Breslow is filling in for second vice president as Larry Holzman leaves it. So that's a correction. We had an attendance of 53 last week. And if there are no other corrections or additions, let's see if our president will cast one vote for all of us for approval of the minutes.
So voted. Thank you, Ira.
Thank you.
Enjoy the summer without taking minutes. Okay. Actually, Howie, you want to lead the discussion?
David wanted to take this slide, so go ahead, Dave.
Okay, thank you, Howie. Yeah, Dave Kaplan here. Yeah, Carl Funch asked me to fill in since he's not part of our meeting this morning. We had a very enjoyable walk at Irwin Park yesterday. Perfect weather, a good turnout. As a matter of fact, we got pictures spread over 2 slides here. Here, the main picture, Arcady, Jerry Krantz. Go back to the first one, Steve, if you would. Steve, can you go? There you go. David and Joan Pribish, John Cullen, Alan and Sari Jaffe, Steve Trell, Frank, Lou Terry. And now go to the second one. So Sari Jaffe decided to create a name for the spouses who were there, calling themselves the associates. Fran Pribish again, Sari Jaffe, Joan Krantz, and Elisa, my wife. A very good time by all. Okay, go to the next one, please. So Carl and I were talking and decided that we want to continue the walks throughout the summer. And so we put together a slide here with the schedule throughout now till August. It'll be the same rotation as we've been doing, starting with Irwin Park, then down to Waveney, and then to Cove Island, and then repeating the cycle each time. The schedule also will be on the calendar on our website. And Steve says that it's also going to be included in the July newsletter. Very informal. There's no need to register. You just show up. And so we look forward to continuing the walk. And if you've not participated, I think you'll enjoy it. So that's the gathering starts at 10 a.m. at each location. So back to you, Howie.
Thank you, David. Bill McGurr, are you on? I didn't see him. Believe it or not.
Bill's not on. He has a doctor's appointment.
Okay. Believe it or not, it's a fluke that there's no fluke or any other fish available. It's just there's lack of fish that they've had to cancel for the first time the fishing trip. Climate change, anybody? Okay, next slide, please. All right, Brian.
I think you're missing, go back to, you skipped over to Tai Chi, which was earlier.
Where?
Go back.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
There it is, Carl.
Okay, looks like we have a commitment to go through July and hopefully through August for Tai Chi. So anybody who's interested, it's not too late to sign up for July. And based on, you know, what the participants in June, most of it expressed interest to do so in July. In July, we'll be meeting only 3 times because the first week and the first Monday in July is the 5th, which is, we're assuming, the national holiday, and the park will be crowded, but there'll be 3 weeks of July and 5 weeks of August. So we're going to proceed with the July, and hopefully we'll be also proceed in August. So please, anybody interested, it's not too late to join us. Even if you haven't done it before, it's worth trying, and let me know if you're interested. And have a great summer, everyone. That's it.
Thank you, Carl. You go to the slide for the, there you go. Brian.
All right. Right now, we have 6 teams, 24 golfers. I just want to remind everybody to be there at 7:15. Weather forecast looks good. After golf, we gather at the restaurant for a great lunch. And I'm looking forward to a fun day and to seeing everyone again.
Brian,
Yes,
being
sir.
this is the last meeting, would you please now read the list of the winners?
All right. This year, I win and Howie comes in second. Next year, Howie wins and I come in second.
Thank you. Okay, next slide, please.
Okay, the spring luncheon next Wednesday at Rock Rimmon Country Club. It's 11:30 a.m. starts the check-in. Lunch will be at sometime between noon and 12:15. Between 11, by the time from check-in till when you have lunch is good time to schmooze. I was at Rock Rimmon yesterday. The place has been redone. It looks absolutely spectacular. It's beautiful. They fixed it up. And they couldn't be happier to have us. I met with the events chairperson, a young, very nice young lady, and the general manager, and they're thrilled to have us back. So I look forward to seeing you all. We're at 100 people. We had 2 additions and 1 cancellation due to a previous commitment that came up. So it's going to be, should be a lovely, lovely day. Place looks great. So look forward to seeing you all, and sharpen up your quiz knowledge, because Henry is providing another quiz. So hopefully there'll be different winners this year.
Thanks, Larry. Stu, would you like to talk about the picnic?
Sure, why not? As you can see, again, September 23rd, make sure it's on your calendar. Should be great weather then. Starts at 11 o'clock. The cost is $25 per person, $50 for a couple. I'm asking that if you have, write it down now, but if you could bring, those of you who are intending to go to the picnic, please bring a check with you made out to SMAS for $25 or $50. Bring it with you to the luncheon and give it to me. That might be better than mailing it now, although you certainly can mail the checks to me. Currently, I only have about 18 people signed up, which represents about 13 members. So we really need to be moving along on the registrations. And next week would be a good time to do it, since we'll see you in person. So again, we're enjoying the picnic. Have a great summer, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Guys, remember that there's a lot of planning that has to go on. So even if you have an inkling that you want to attend the picnic, but aren't sure, let Stu know as soon as possible, so that we can plan on the numbers and things that we have to provide. Remember, every our event, if for some reason you indicate that you want to come, and even if you pay and something comes up that does not allow you to attend that function, you will get your refunds. You will not be held to pay if you hadn't. So you will, don't worry about that. But please let Stu know. It's very difficult planning that. The plans have to be made before we start meeting in September, and please, maybe an email will come out soon enough, and let us know. That's all I'm asking. All right, membership director. Our Carl's not here today. So far this year, in spite of the pandemic and our Zoom meetings, we did bring in 6 new members. And at this point, is there anyone here that is a visitor or a guest? Please unmute yourself and say hello. Okay. No one has, I guess we have no guests. Before I turn it over to Dave on fellowship, just want to briefly, we got a card from a note from Debbie Sofayer, who was our coordinator with the Fish Church. And she said, we finally made it to the Cape. She and her husband are relocating to Cape Cod. And they love it there. The pace of life is a bit dialed back, which she likes. And she keeps having to remind her husband that it's Cape time, not Manhattan time. She misses her life with the Fish Church, and even though I know it's a great new chapter, I still feel the void of not being involved working at the Fish. I miss all of you, and thank you for the SMAS tile and beautiful clock. If you recall, we presented her with a tile and a desk clock that was had the engraving, thanking her for her help with the SMAS. And she will take because I promised to send a photo of where the clock will live in my home as soon as I get all the boxes and get unpacked and organized. Thank you again for the opportunity to work with you. I had fun and enjoyed our time together. Please take care, and I hope to see you again. Peace, Debbie. I thought that was very nice of her. Dave?
Okay, thank you, Joe. So last meeting of the year, who has some news to share with us? Well, if not, again, please contact me with any news that comes up during the July-August break that I should follow up with. I'll be happy to do that. And again, members who would appreciate a call at any time listed here. I see that Earl is joining us again today. Earl and I spoke yesterday, and Earl, we're really glad that you're doing well and on the mend. So that's all I've got. So Joe, back to you.
Thank you, Dave. Dick?
Good morning. I got a big apology. I do not know what happened yesterday. I could not get into everything was perfect on the screen, and I clicked and clicked and clicked, and nothing happened. So somehow I got disconnected from Zoom, yet I was able to get into today's meeting with no problem. So a big apology to everybody on that who read Spine in the South and were ready to talk about it. And I know some people were in line. But anyhow, we're reading Cast for September, and that's a very interesting book. It's gotten a lot of notoriety, bestseller lists. Isabel Wilkerson has been a great spokesperson about the South and blacks and whites, and I think a lot of insight in that book for us. So my apology again, but that's the way it was.
You have a title for October yet, Dick?
No, we were going to decide yesterday, so we'll do it on through the emails connections we have with each other. Okay. There's quite a few possibilities.
Okay, thank you. Volunteering at New Covenant Center. Carl is still looking to get additional volunteers from SMAS to help out one Monday a month at New Covenant. And if you're interested, please contact Carl either by phone or by email. Concerts on the Green. We'll just briefly go through that because there's a lot to go. This church is again going to have the concerts on the green in front of the church. Just west of the parking lot, that lawn area there. And the Carolyn concerts will begin on 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And after the Carillon, they'll have live band music, and it'll go on till 9 o'clock. So from 7 to 9, you'll have two different genres of music that should appeal to most people. So looking forward to probably trying to attend there and see you there. Okay, Alan.
Good morning.
Yours.
I'm seeing that the screen doesn't switch over to me, even though I seem to have the video working. So in any case, I'm not coming across on the screen, correct?
We see it.
By not coming across personally?
You know, my video.
Yeah, we see it, Alan.
Oh, okay. I don't, great, good. Then I'm just going to go ahead and talk about.
You just cut your video off, though.
Yeah, the video was on, but for some reason it doesn't seem to work from my house. So in any case, I'm just going to talk through the slides, both in terms of electricity and heating oil. For electricity supply, Eversource has published its rate for the next 6 months at 7 cents per kilowatt hour. And, you know, that is lower than it had been, you know, over this recent 2-year horizon. When you look in the market for alternatives, at this point, the best is Town Square, which over a month at a 6.84 cent rate per kilowatt hour would only save a typical household about $1.20 per month. So the recommendation is when the current commitment ends, just go ahead and switch back to CL&P. It isn't worth, in my mind, going over to an alternative supplier. And it's pretty interesting, you know, over perhaps 5 years that, you know, we've been tracking this and going to alternate suppliers and saving, you know, 15, 20% per month on electricity supply, you know, as much as now, for the first time, the save has narrowed or disappeared. Many of the alternate providers are actually charging more than 7 cents per kilowatt hour. So, you know, it's an interesting transition time. Now, at the same point, you may well look a month from now online at energizeconnecticut.com. Perhaps alternate suppliers will come out with offers that provide, you know, a 10% save. If so, you can make the switch then. Going on to the next slide, heating oil. Last year, we had surveyed the marketplace about four suppliers. Reliable Oil was the best, and it was a lock-in price of $1.79 a gallon, and half off for furnace service. Going on to the next slide, this is a chart of what has happened in the crude oil marketplace over the past about 5 years. And you can see that the prices have gone way up again. And, you know, it's in the $70 a barrel range at this point. When we locked in last year, it was at some point in that notable dip that you're seeing early in 2020. And if you go ahead to the next slide, the final slide, now we're facing the question, what should we do about next winter? Should we lock in or not? The results from the past heating season with reliable oil, I presented what happened in my situation. We had, you know, half a dozen, 10 guys had signed up with Reliable, and this was the result of our doing so. In my case, the market cost for heating oil would be about $2,400 for my house. The lock-in resulted in my paying $1,780. The save was over $600 for the heating season, or about a 20% discount over what I would have paid if I hadn't locked in. So it, in retrospect, turned out to be really a fantastic opportunity. I did check in with Reliable Oil. At this point, they're offering us $2.70 a gallon lock-in, which they indicate is better than what they offer to their typical customer. But in any case, that's still substantially higher, of course, than the $1.80 that we locked in a year ago. So the suggestion we have at the moment is to hold off on locking in, you know, monitor the market as you choose. And, you know, we might just give consideration next season to paying the floating market rate. All depends on what sort of happens globally, perhaps with a settlement with Iran. You know, if their volumes come back on the market, perhaps that'll result in a price break. So keep your eye open and you know, act if you feel that there's an opportunity out there. If there's any question, I can quickly answer it on either the electricity or the oil. Otherwise, all set at this end.
Alan?
Okay, raise hands, please. Okay, go ahead, Howard.
Have you surveyed any of the other companies for their 21, 22?
No, I did not do a survey because when I am looking at the profile at this point of where the overall market is, I wasn't kind of interested in doing a lock-in at this point.
What are you doing about service?
I'm holding off on signing a service contract. And if something should need service, it'll be billed to me on, you know, on a actual service cost basis.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
All right, thanks, Alan. I know it's tough trying to hit a moving target, and these days you don't know what's happening with the oil. All I know is in the last 6 months, 7 months, gasoline has gone up 33%. Where it was under $2, it's now over $3 at the station that I go to. So, and that's a reflection, obviously, of the crude price plus.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, are there any items for discussion that anybody wants to bring up regarding what they heard during the meeting or anything that they'd like to add? Please raise your hand. Okay, any jokes? I know Alan Jaffe was rehearsing yesterday. So, Alan Jaffe, go ahead. Unmute yourself, Alan.
You're still muted.
You're still muted.
I'm muted. Am I unmuted now?
Yes.
Okay. I tried to sue the airline for losing my luggage, but I lost my case. She had a photographic memory, but it never developed. And that's obviously an old time joke with the developing film. I wasn't originally going to get a brain transplant, but I changed my mind. And finally, is it ignorance or apathy that is destroying the world today? I don't know, and I don't care.
All right.
All right.
And
That's
now, Alan number 2. Alan Sosnowitz. Go ahead, Al.
Got it. Well, I do have something funny to tell you. Sometimes the funniest things are things that actually do happen to me. And this did happen to me a few years ago. I was at a dance and there was this babe and I'm flirting with her. And she had a very direct way of letting me know she was married. She simply said, "You know what my husband would say if he saw us right now?" That's a pretty direct way to let me know she was married. And I said, "What would your husband say if he saw us right now?" She said, "He would tell me I could do a lot better."
Oh. Okay.
Oh, wait, I still have it on.
All right, guys. I guess our speakers are here now, and